Hey everybody, Sherry Dawn here. I am making this video to answer a question that I get fairly often as a writer and as a creative. And the question is, what do you write when you don't know what to write? And I'm going to get to that in a minute, and I'll answer it in a way that hopefully is helpful to people who make any kind of art or have any kind of creative spark that they want to pursue but aren't sure quite how sometimes. So first, I want to say thank you to everyone who has contributed to the Kickstarter for my Ashes for William novel. It's coming out in early March. The Kickstarter ends February 28th, and I'll include the link to that in the notes here for this video. As of this recording, I'm at 73% funded, and Kickstarter is an all or nothing thing. So if you're not familiar with it, it's a way that creatives can raise money to cover a project that they want to bring to life. And when you back the project, then you get reward. So in this case, I have a list of things that I will be personally shipping out to you when you back the project, and any contribution is greatly appreciated. So thank you to everyone who has either contributed or even just shared it on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere. It's really great. So thank you. So moving on, the question was, how do you write when you don't know what to write? This came from one of my friends who attended a writing retreat that I led last year at Earthjoy Treehouse Adventures. So shout out to Earthjoy. And I came up with some quick answers here. I'll try to keep this short and sweet. But the first thing that I do when I'm kind of stuck creatively is I just journal. I just write in a notebook, and I often use prompts if I really don't know what to write. And the prompt might be as simple as "I feel," and so I'll just write "I feel, tired," or "I feel grateful." And then, that's always a great one. It's just a list of the things that you're grateful for, no matter who you are. So I just start with that, and it just kind of gets things going. It helps get things out of my head. It can help you clear your mind, because often we have so many things cooking in the mind that it's hard to think about the things that we want to think about. So just by writing it down, I call it a mind dump. It's something that for me started when I read the book The Artist's Way, which I'm happy to give a plug for here, because it's a game changer no matter who you are. Again, any type of creative can benefit from that book, The Artist's Way. So I write in my journal. I use prompts, and I might, if I really want to focus on the craft of writing but I don't know what to write, I will just pull up I'll Google writing exercises, for example, and just try to find another thing just to keep it moving, just to keep the pen moving. And one thing that you can even do, if you really if you're really stuck in your head, pick up one of your favorite books and copy it word for word. Just write it out. Similar to how artists will visit a museum and sit down in front of a painting and draw it, or at home they'll paint it. Doing that, it teaches you a lot about that craft. And something like dialogue, for example, is a big challenge for those of us who write. So copying dialogue from a favorite novel can just kind of plant seeds in your mind about how things flow. And you're still working on your craft, and you're still writing in some way. So that's something that you can do. And the other thing that you can do is set a timer and just free write on just a scrap piece of paper. I like to do that because I like to use scrap paper, and sometimes I'll even use the oldest pen that I can find in the house, because then it's not precious. I'm not using my favorite ink pen. I'm not worried about using up my ink. Not worried about writing in my favorite journal and wasting pages there. So I'll grab an old notebook and old pen and just write whatever it is that I need to write. And it can be meaningless, it cannot make any sense, and it doesn't have to be anything that I ever look at again. But again, it's just to keep the process moving. It's to keep you in that habit, to keep you thinking about your craft and your art and your creativity. So those are just a few things that I do when I'm not sure what to write. I'll share one more, and that's to outline in the novel draft that I'm working on right now, not the one that I'm about to publish. This is actually, so it might be a fourth book that comes a few years later. I spent a lot of time really crafting the outline for it, because then when I do have time to sit down and work on it, then I sort of know what direction I want to go in. And that makes it a lot easier. So I'm not just sitting down really staring at a blank page with no idea where to go. And so with an outline, kind of like with that old piece of paper, it doesn't really matter what it looks like or how it's worded, and it makes it easy to just jot down different possibilities for what might happen next in your story or what a character might do. And that's a fun way to get creative, and you might surprise yourself. So I hope that helps my writer friends, all my art friends, my creative friends. And just a friendly reminder, if you have a moment to check out my Kickstarter, I'd really appreciate it. My goal is to raise $2,000 for this book. That'll cover my publishing costs for like the cover, the interior design layout, and the ISBN. And then I'm hoping if I can get it up to $3,000, then I can have this turned into an audiobook. That's something that people have asked me about in the past with my other books, and there just hasn't been the money to do that. I don't have like a budget, for example. So anyway, I would really love to make this available as an audiobook too. So thank you, and stay creative.